Good evening, Kenji. How are you? There we go. Yeah, I see my stream is live. Just confirmed that as well. Played a bit with the game volume. Seeing the last one we did on Extreme League, the guys made some comments in the chat saying that the game volume was very high. They barely heard us, so I just made that adjustment on my side tonight, and hopefully the viewers can just confirm if that's better or we can even further improve it. We are basically a full lobby, eh? 21 out of 22, so we're short one guy. Oh, I see there's already two viewers, Kenzie, so just a welcome to the viewers. We will be starting soon.
Yep. Instead of Ivan joining me on commentary this evening, I have got Ruben Juarez. That's how you pronounce his surname.
Yeah, for the foreigners, that's perfectly fine. Here in South Africa, we say Willem Mare, but nonetheless, thanks for the introduction and thank you for the invitation, Kenzie.
It's great to have you on board with this evening. He was Ruben commentating on the races in China. One of the big talking points was the fact that Callum Harris ended up with his first DNF
Oh yeah.
since this league started last.
Yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday, but it was last week, and there was actually two races. It was the TOTD main league in China, with the leader Gary Braden, and then we had the Extreme One league also, and that was as Ivan explained to me, the sister league of the TOTD, the smaller league. So I commentated on both as a guest commentator, but that was very interesting to see. Callum having a DNF on China. But I must say, that race was epic, and there was very unforeseen circumstances in the rain. Dry quali, and then all of a sudden it was a rainy race, and the weather didn't clear up, so the guys really had to manage the race there.
Yeah, but we'll go through what happened with the Extreme 1B tomorrow evening, but I won't be here for because I've got an athletics competition there tomorrow, so I have no idea when I'm going back. But I will be sure to tune in to watch the race as it happens. But at least I'm here tonight for the main race.
Yeah, this ought to be exciting, Kenzie, because what we had in China just draws up to this race. It just comes together for this race to see what will throw the cards in this race. So how will the guys come from China? Some of them having a very bad race in China, and some of them having a very epic race in China. That will play a big role in tonight's race. coming to Azerbaijan. It's a totally different scenario. It's a street circuit. The one corner leads to the other. A bad exit compromises your whole race. So it will be very interesting to see from a track from China coming to a track like Azerbaijan. And with that said, bad and good races for some of the drivers.
The drivers are starting to ready up already. While we're waiting for that to come to fruition, as far as the championship is concerned, the two front runners have a very comfortable lead in the championship. Gary Braden at the top with 69 points, Stephen Harrison with 62. They both finished 1 and 2 throughout the first races of the season, with Gary getting the fastest lap last round, so that gave him a little boost. But also Stephen got the fastest lap in Bahrain.
I missed Bahrain, but Kenzie, on that point, have you seen on the leaderboard? I just made this statistic quickly. From 4th place, 4th to 13th is separated by 6 points on this championship so far. This is going to be a very close one.
All it's going to take is one race loss to change the course of the championship. But this is only round 4, still early days.
Yeah, very early days. But to see a championship running so close, I mean, 4th to 13th, only separated by 6 points. You know, that just shows the quality of the drivers as well. They're all up their game. They're all looking for that special opportunity. And like you said, it's one result that can change the whole leaderboard.
Absolutely, and it looks like we have our championship leader this evening with Gary Braden. Doesn't like
That's very odd. I actually do have direct contact with him. If I may, I can ask him if he's coming or if there's any happenings or technicalities there at this side.
We'll see what happens.
I've sent him a message as well just to ask if he's going to be joining. It would be very odd to see the championship leader not joining, eh? That will be the upset for Azerbaijan, I think. Mm. And that will be by 1 point if my mathematics is correct.
Well, it's 6 points plus the point for the fastest lap, so it would be 7 points. They would be tied on points.
That's it.
Based on countbacks, he would take the lead in the championship.
Yeah.
And there you go. Gary Braden is not going to be but he's not going to be overly concerned about this because it will be the best 17 results that go towards championship standings, meaning these guys can afford to miss a couple of races.
Oh, but it's not the ideal scenario. I mean, this is a tough to stay on top. You would you would have the perfect world you attend each and every race. But circumstances, as we know it in life, sometimes it just doesn't allow.
Nevertheless, we've got another three here, and instead of Gary Braden racing it for him, we've got Jia Lu, who originally from China, had a
Welcome to you all today. We have plenty of entertainment planned from our track parade, several hours of action-packed racing from the pinnacle of motorsport. After a 9-year absence, the French GP made a welcome return in 2018. The last time fans witnessed the GP on French.
Alright, so the reserve driver is Mr. Wilson, Jia Lu, as you said, so he will be in Gary Braden's car, if I'm not mistaken.
Paul Ricard returns to the F1 calendar this year after last hosting the French GP back in 1990. Drivers will take part in 21 races this year on a variety of circuits, including the prestigious street circuit in Monaco, spectacular night racing in Singapore, and intense heat in Bahrain. This year's calendar really does put our teams through their paces, offering a variety.
Kinsey, I would suspect that he did some practice. Since 2018 till now is a very long time, so I will suspect that he did a lot of practice and a bit of practice lobbies. Maybe it's just some random racing as well, just to stay on board with the feel of the cars. The two Renaults extremely close to one another on the outlap. Toro Rosso went out as well, and the two Ferraris also doing the same thing as the Renaults, going very close out. I think they would like to do a tow here. Does it seem that way? Well, minds think alike. The Renaults have the same idea as the Ferraris, it seems. This will be something to look out for in Q1. That's very true, that's very true. This is also a track that's not very forgiving on the rear tyres. Me myself also being a racer in F1 2019 did a lot of practice last week on this track. And I must say, for 100% race, you really need to have a look on your exits. Because the rear tyres will not last. If you're going to have one spin, then your strategy will be compromised. Kenzie, while we're in the early stages of this race, Q1 only a few minutes went into. Is there a way that we can just confirm? I really love the viewers' perspective of everything, and they helped us last week with the comment of saying that the game sound was too loud. My camera is camera 2. If the viewers can just state that the game volume is low enough, that you guys can hear us talk as well, so the experience is optimum for the viewers. If that's possible, I don't have access to the chat, but if someone does, please just let us know if there's changes that we can make. That'll be awesome. The viewers are very important as well, especially for Talk of the Devil. They give us some nice comments, and last week one of the viewers said he was voting for Wadobu. I'm not sure what Wadobu's real name is, but he's in the, by seems of it, he's in McLaren tonight. That's it. That's the name, Anthony. So he's in the Renault tonight. So hopefully that viewer will return. And that is in a Ferrari, yeah. So you would expect those times even to go lower as the session progresses. But what a lap from Wadobu, from Anthony, 140s in the Renault. This is realistic performance, by the way, and that's a good lap. That's a good first lap. Split into two Ferraris at the moment is a Renault. Sector 2. Clipped something or just had a spin? It's a Red Bull. It's the Red Bull of Bloodsucker that missed the turn and went into the runoff area. 1516 in the Red Bull just had a braking point in the area. No damage on the car, it seems. I'm having a look on it now. That seems to be fine, yeah. Sorry, Kendi. Kenzie, for me personally, I love the street circuits in F1 2019, F1 2018. My driving simulation started in F1 2018. I never played a racing game ever in my life before 2018 came out. But street circuits, I just got on them. It's so technical. You have to be on point every single time. Braking points, acceleration points. Your turn-in has to be perfect, otherwise you're either out or compromised. These street circuits, I just love it. Okay, it seems like Bloodsucker in the Red Bull is going out now on his hot lap. We'll take the viewers. I'm on board with Snake Hips, and it seems like he's catching on the fast lap of Bloodsucker. Castle section beautifully done. Stephen Harrison there. What a lap! 140.8. Sorry to interrupt you. Thank you. 140.8 by that Red Bull. Yeah, by Kieran. And Stephen Harrison clinched second. Your words hasn't been quieted yet. And it's already, like you said, he's going to have advantage now to get him up in Listen, we missed some updates here on this Williams car. I must say, since China till now, have they been doing some upgrades to this car? What a lap, Winter. Willem Brits. What a lap. I must say, we had a few times that we actually raced together. He is a quick oak. He is a fast bloke. He knows how to take a car on the circuit. But doing that in Williams, well done. Well done. Yeah, he is quite. I started racing with him just to confirm what the other drivers also said to me. I raced with him since last season, the 2018 season of ORL SA League racing, and I was very blatantly just new in Formula 1 sim racing, and I just started to challenge myself because I actually looked up to Willem with his pace and his experience in the game, and the only way that I can beat him at the moment on time trial is driving without any assists, and then I beat him barely. So he's a quick one. I must confirm that, I'm totally with you on that, because I play around with all the cars in the game on time trial, and I try to see how fast the car should be, because we also have a realistic lead that we have. So, and I'm also in the Toro Rosso, and I compare my times with the Mercedes, because the Mercedes to the game is the fastest car. And setup, you have a Mercedes setup and it won't work on the Toro Rosso, it won't work on the Renault. Every car needs its own setup, and you need to have that knowledge to know what the car can do and what you need to do to make that car fast around it. We just had a tow between the two Renaults. Yeah, I mean, Anthony is still out now. He's on another lap which he got a tow from, so it will be interesting to see if he could have improved on that lap time. And he only needs less than a tenth to clinch fourth on top of a Mercedes, which is Harold Cullen's car. So let's see what he does. He's approaching the main straight now. I'm on board with him. If the viewers want to join camera 2. This is full tilt, This is flat taps, waiting for the DRS, and trying to get the timing very early on the DRS. You want to have perfect, reaching speeds above 340 kilometers an hour. And he just went second with a 140.281 in a Renault. Definitely. everyone wants to know what happens with Sebastian Vettel off track, and just to put it out there, Vettel is just not one of the oaks that shares his life. He is not a Lewis Hamilton, and don't get me wrong, I love the two to bits, and I'm a big Lewis Hamilton fan, but two different drivers, but they have one thing in common: they know how to be fun. And this is his sixth one. Which shortly after, being the two getting but respect to I'm just in my of I got how to pronounce with a 1-2 Aaron in the top. Oh, foot is up on the line straight. That elimination kicking me. Wow, how's that timing? He's going for his own fourth thing, but it's gone. Yeah, they say that he was these 2 tenths up already, so I don't know straight that call got the better. So sweet. Yep, I'm on speed for the triple slap. Count him out yet, so that's a mistake. So the car above him is also a win's play. So I won't count yet. Also still a win. Still think he's got a good chance here to watching him in he's a kid that's not being going. Very, very difficult times. To start it. 14. This ought to be very interesting. Got a mix here. Sorts of the car. From the slowest to the fastest. It's gonna be a slash out, but still reckon this is gonna be a strategy. Can't say this on the one of this very hard over to that emissions that media get from the track to and on what to give wind might be the fastest to the end, but it's just had is Matt. He will go from still go. Is that shot went? I know what you wanted to say. What? This is amazing. This is what you want to see in these games. You want to see guys that. Game, yo, Kenzie, I don't know what to say, and I said this just before we started with the race, and even with the first quali session, I said this is going to be a good one coming from China. Wow. I just wanted to mention something. I see Willem Brits did his second lap now on in the Williams. His first lap was a 1:47. Which he completed, and then went out for a second one. I just want to explain to some of the viewers that would beg the question, why will you do 2 laps on the mediums? Well, here's the answer, guys. What happens is you prep your tires. The harder tires need some more prepping. So, and second to that, you want to compare your lap time. You don't want to go out to the pits, waste time getting another set of tires on. So you complete 1 lap, and then you can look at your delta and see where and how much you're improving when you go mode 11 in the car, if I can put it in that. Just a small explanation to some of the viewers that begs the question, but yes, Willem Brit's doing a 141.5 on mediums, ladies and gentlemen, medium tires. I'm looking at one of the Alphas now. Yeah, but no damage. No, it's out there. That's it. Yeah, it's interesting you say that, Kenzie. That happened with me last week in the race. Q2 got impeded in corner 2. Exactly the same thing. I went out on the outlap, just like you explained now, waiting for the cars to pass, and it just didn't happen in my favour. But that's a very good point you have there. You have to be very careful when you go out. So Talk of the Devil, that's something interesting. Did I hear you correctly? Talk of the Devil is not doing Monica? Yeah? We have another, you know why the yellow flag came up? Because the car drives really slowly, then the game automatically throws out the yellow sector for a slow moving car, Kenzie. I think that's what happened with the Alfa Romeo as well. I must say, Kenzie, and some of the viewers will disagree completely with what I'm saying now, but Monaco is my top number 1 favorite track. I would have been so sad if they said we can't do Monaco, but there's good reasons. It's such a nice track to drive. Top class. Bus stop. Swimming pool. Yeah, no, that's... It's really my number 1 favorite track, and saying it's your favorite track is not necessarily your best track. But every opportunity I get to race on that track, I won't miss it for the world. I would race Monaco every single day of my life. That's just how I love that track. It's got a rich history on that track as well. Yeah, but again, you know, saving grace, like you said, I don't think that's the holy grail for just clip the wall over there, Zola. McLaren, I think he might have a slightly yellow wing now. But yeah, as you say, so it's not going to save them the race having 3 tire chairs, because overtaking on this track happens in one place, and that's the main track. If you want to take chances around this track to overtake any driver, you got to know how and when, and your timing needs to be spot on. Otherwise, you compromise both yours and the driver you're challenging if it goes wrong. And believe me, 99% of the time, it will go wrong. I threw my remote, literally threw my remote to the ceiling when Daniel recorded it, because that's such a class driver. How can you not? That was my question. How did he not see that car behind him? I think it was just furious for missing the braking point and didn't even looking in the mirror. But on that point in that race, I remember I threw my remote into the air. I'm like, what? Yeah, there was a moment. Okay, doesn't seem like Zola's gonna come out, so he's gonna stay close at the moment. Yes, I just want to add to that. Zola in the McLaren doesn't look comfortable in this session in quality 2 with the car. I'm not sure if that's due to clipping the wall with the left front of his wing, but I'm watching him go around the track and it doesn't seem he's completely comfortable in the car. And just to carry on with the second part of that, we've got 2 Ferraris and they placed 5th and 6th in this session. Yes, they're on the mediums and the top 4s and softs. You would have thought that the main track will have an advantage for the Ferrari on this track.
Indeed.
But it's not over yet. Q3, these cars will be mode 11. Engines, everything will be amped up, and track evolution will also play a role in Q3, so we will see who will go out the latest as they can, maybe for the second run, and we will see some impressive times. I think we're going to go into the 138s, if I'm not mistaken. That should be round about where we would be.
That would not surprise me, but there you go. That is it for the second part of qualifying. We've got Kieran. He's whoa! I literally just cut to Kieran there, and he went from 11th. He shot straight up to second. He's just saved himself. He just saved himself a slot in qualifying 3.
Yeah, that was an impressive lap. That was really impressive.
The Renault of Anthony Waddington. So let's go. So we've got John Taylor, Michael Booker, Matt Dixon, Jorge, and Devon all eliminated. And that leaves Anthony Waddington, Kieran, Caesar, Callum, Ross, Panagiotis, Jarbelu, Willem Brits, Stephen, and Kyle all into the third part of qualifying.
And again, have you seen the mix there, Kenzie? It's all sorts. We've got the slowest car in the top 10, which is a Williams from Willem Brits. We've got a McLaren in there, which is a mid-running car. And this is what I said in China as well to Ivan when I was joining him on commentary there as well. It just shows, some of the driver's skills. I mean, to get the lower side of the cars into a top 10 on Q2 or even Q3, to be in the top 5 with the back running car. That's impressive. I mean, that's all down to the driver. You can give him the machinery, but if the driver can't use it, then you won't see the results. And that's the contrast of what's happening in this league. You see the guys using the machinery and getting them in the positions they need to be. Alright, Q3 is on its way, 11 minutes remaining. We have 4 cars leaving. It's Mercedes, McLaren, we've got the Williams of Willem Brits again, first one to go out. And I suspect, if I'm going to have a look on what the tyre choices will be, it will be obviously the softs. And I think we can go into the 138s in this session. That will be a very good lap time indeed.
Indeed, and it looks like Caesar has encountered some technical issues, so he's having trouble. So it doesn't look like he's going to be taking part in this third part of qualifying at the moment. We'll wait and see what happens. Yeah, at the moment it's Stephen, Willem Brits, Panagiotis, Jarbelu and Kyle Keegan. They're the guys that are currently out on track at the moment.
See, Caesar has joined again, but I think he's going to miss out on Q3.
Which will mean he will end up being 10th, regardless of what happens.
So I'm on board with Willem Brits in Williams, just exiting corner 2 on the DRS zone, 1 of 2 on this track, approaching corner 4. We should be going from 8th gear down to 2nd or 3rd in this case, riding the curve nicely on the right hand side, going as much left as you can to give you a nice open entry for the 2nd corner. This corner is very tricky because you need to go into 3rd with a short shift to 2nd to give you a bit more rotation, staying in 2nd, using the engine braking to rotate you, and then going flat out short burst, approaching the first corner before Castle and cutting that very nicely. And again, Castle.
It looks like, yes, Caesar has managed to get himself back into the session, which means he will be able to take part in qualifying.
Perfect. Touch that corner to throw you into the wall on the right hand side. Come down to 3rd using the engine to rotate you, riding the curve nicely there, cutting it close, staying as right as possible, early cornering, and down to the main straight approaching the DRS zone. This is going to be, I think, one of his best laps if I had a nice look at this on board.
Got Stephen coming down the main straight now.
Indeed.
140.4 from, that's a good starting point. 39.2, Stephen's only a quarter of a second away from that 138.
We should be going into the 138 here. I can't see that we're gonna stay in the 139s. And I would love to see the Ferrari challenging the Mercedes on this track, especially with the long straight, but I suspect seeing quali 1, quali 2, that might not be the case here.
We've got Panagiotis 139.7, about half a second behind Stephen.
And that's a very long time in Formula 1, ladies and gentlemen. Half a second is a very long time. That's a lot of track time.
I'm just having a look. I'm just having a look at some of the statistics for the season so far. Gary Braden, the only driver to be on pole position, so we're going to have only our second pole sitter this season, regardless of now who that's going to be. It remains to be seen, but we're going to find out in about 6 minutes or so.
Oh, that's a nice statistic there. So Gary Braden has been on pole since the start of the season. Australia,
Essentially, yes.
China. Wow. That's a good stat in his book.
Yeah, Anthony Watson, a fantastic lap from him, 1:39.9, just getting under the 100-second barrier.
Can I just point out, Kenzie, this is still not the fastest lap you've seen from these guys in the qualifying session. I don't know if you've noticed.
That is very interesting. Some of them have put faster laps in the earlier parts of qualifying. And you would think that the faster times would actually come here when the track is rubbered in at its best.
Kenzie, on circuits like this, it plays a mental role as well. If you start seeing guys going off and crashing and losing wings and all of that, just in your back of your mind, you start thinking, okay, I need to look out, and that slows you down, whether you know it or don't. That does play a role, even if it's not you going into the barriers.
That is a very valid point. Now that you mention it, it does play psychologically, with especially some of the mid to lower teams that have done well to get to this part of qualifying. You've got to they've got to be thinking to themselves, what if that happens to me? And it ends up causing them to slow down without them even realizing it, like you mentioned.
Yep. Yeah, it does happen, but that's also where in the F1 live, if I can say, like the real F1, that's what the team bosses normally refer to as maturity. Now, yes, this is a game and you're sitting down and steering wheel. You don't experience all the feelings and exhilarations that these guys do in real life. But even so, there is a bit of the part of maturity coming into playing the game and being a driver in that, is not looking into those guys that make the mistakes and just do your best on track. But it's so difficult. It's a psychological thing. It's in the back of your mind. It's something that you don't control. You have to overcome it.
Indeed, Callum, because while you were talking about that, Callum managed to get a lap in, 1:39.3, just over a tenth slower than Stephen. So, as it stands, the top 10 is Stephen provisional pole, Callum second, Panagiotis third, Waddington fourth, Jar Bailey fifth, Keenan sixth, Williams seventh, Caesar eighth, Kyle Keegan ninth, and Ross rounding up the top 10.
It's a nice mix, the top 10. I really love what I'm seeing. And this is also again a nice example of what the real F1 wants. They want this type of mix, on track. Cars just not supposed to be there are there, and it surprises everyone. It surprises the top runners. It surprises the even the lower field, and it makes the racing so much more interesting and entertaining at the same time.
And fingers crossed that this could be the sort of racing we could end up seeing when the 2021 regulations come into place.
Yes, and Formula One is transforming at speeds that we can't comprehend with. With development of the cars, training drivers, with the junior team developments, the performance enhancements, aerodynamics. These guys, if you go look back 5 years, just 5 years even, where the cars were and what they look like compared to today, it's light years. It's light years.
Exactly. 5 years ago, that was the start of this turbo hybrid era that we have today.
Exactly. And that's why I'm calling it. You know, if you just go 5 years, just 5 years, not even looking back at the legends of Ayrton Senna or what those cars look like. I'm talking about now, you know, very near history, if I can say it in that sense. The cars look ridiculous. You know, if you have a look at what the cars look like today, and you look at the pace they have.
Indeed, and there have even been some concept shots of what the
2021.
Yeah, I've seen the concept design, and it looks incredible.
But it's a complete new design. It looks as if it might be the same car, but it's a new floor, it's a new rear wing. I actually seen it as well on the F1 app. And it's a complete new front wing. It's a complete new car. The side pods even.
The front wing is the main bit that stands out for me. Because looking at it from the side, it looks amazing.
Yeah, but you know what they say, Kenzie? You know, concepts never come to life. We've rarely seen in the motor world where even your production cars. Okay, there we go, Java. You just need the wall scraping it there. I don't know if it's got wing damage, but just to get back to the discussion, motorsport, passenger cars, all of those, you know, coming out with ridiculous concepts and it never goes to life. But Formula One, it's a different ballgame. I think we might see something close to that.
And while that has been going on, we have had two laps
yes.
that managed to get into the 138. You called it! You said we'd get 138 today, and we just got two! Panagiotis, 38.922, Stephen, 38.923!
Oh, a thousand
Could
of a
you
second.
get any closer?
That's, if you want to
You know
say the
for a
word
fact-
photo finish, that's your photo finish, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we know for a fact that Callum's not going to get the pole position. Jarvis, he could end up throwing a spanner in the works, but he's
Not
not
up in
going
his
to.
times, and he scraped the wall on corner 3 as well. So I don't want to be the.
He's coming into the pits, but Willem Brits and the Williams, meanwhile, he's just quarter of a second up on his fastest time. He could end up getting a couple of slots on the grid. Look what his
quarter of a second. That will put him one place
He's
up.
almost half a second up on his best time. He could end up in the top 5 here.
Even in the top 4 even maybe. I think the straight
Not
might
much
eat him a
between
little bit on
fourth
his
and
time.
fifth. He is hammering it down the main straight. DRS wide open. What's the clock? What's it gonna be? 39. He goes 7. He's not.
Wow!
39.986. That is a brilliant lap from him.
Williams, Kings.
That
Williams.
is very impressive. But Panagiotis has gone into the pits. Stephen is a long way behind. He's slowed down. Panagiotis on pole for the first time since Russia last season.
Well done. 138, and yeah, that's where you're supposed to be. If I looked at the Q1, Q2 times, that's very good lap times. I think if this existed, Kenzie, and there was a driver of qualifying, not a driver of the race, a driver of the day, that's the normal F1 qualifying. If there was a driver of qualifying, I would have given hands down to Winterish Iowa, Willem Brits in that Williams to be able to pull 7th with the 139.9.
Only a second slower than our pole sitter Panagiotis.
Yeah, no, that's incredible stuff. That's incredible stuff. But what a top 10! This is a brilliant top 10.
Kyle Keegan, 4th place, fantastic lap from him. And then you've got Anthony Waddington, 6th, 4 thousandths. It's quicker than Willem Britt.
To see 1 thousandth of a second splitting first and second. If there was ever ever that type of lap time, they would not have been able to decide who would get pole. I think they would have done a shootout, another lap shootout to decide who would be on pole. In the earlier days of Formula One, not having the technology today.
Indeed. So let's just recap the top 10. You've got Panagiotis on pole, Stephen second, Callum third, Kyle Keegan fourth, Jarbelu fifth, Anthony Waddington sixth, Willem seventh, Kieran eighth, Caesar ninth, and Ross rounding up the top 10.
If I can just point out to the viewers as well, the top 10 is split by 2 seconds, which is a very, very, very long time. That's a huge amount of time that splits the first 10. Not even taking consideration what splits the whole grid. So there's a big gap on this grid concerning lap times.
Indeed, but nevertheless, here we go. It is time for the race build-up. It is round 4 of Season 2 of the Talk the Devil League. We are at the Azerbaijan circuit on the streets of Baku. The Caspian Sea is the world's largest inland body of water. Baku is also the sole metropolis in Azerbaijan. A couple of facts about the track as well. The second longest track on the calendar, the longest of course being Spa. 4 different winners at this circuit. We had Rosberg in 2016, Ricciardo 2017, Hamilton last year, and Bottas earlier this season. And it's an incredible circuit. 3.73 miles. You've got 2 DRS zones, 20 corners, 12 to the left, 8 to the right. You're looking at average speeds of about 140 miles an hour round the track, and top speeds over 200 miles an hour easily. And we've got some action zones to look out for. In particular, that run down to turn 1, as Verstappen can attest to when he collided with Ricciardo last season. At turn 3 as well, Kimi Raikkonen and Esteban Ocon at the start of the race. And also earlier this season as well, as I mentioned in qualifying with Ricciardo and Kvyat. And, of course, a bit of controversy between Vettel and Hamilton in 2017. Vettel thought Hamilton brake checked him and decided to go alongside him and just give him a little nudge. And, hey, what was that for? But nevertheless, they did end up being punished for that as a result. The 3-tyre compounds, you've got the C4 for the soft, the C3 for the medium, and the C2 for the hard. And last but by no means least, here it's the grid. You've got Panagiotis on pole for the first time since Russia last season, and you've got Stephen alongside him on the front row, just 1,000th between them in qualifying. Callum behind Stephen on row 2 with Kyle Keegan, fantastic performance from him in 4th. Jarbelu filling in for Gary, great performance from him in 5th. Anthony Waddington, great performance in the Renault in 6th. Willem, the legend of the Formula One community, managing to get into 7th in the Williams. Kieran in the Red Bull alongside him. Then you've got Caesar in the Racing Point with Ross in the Red Bull alongside him. And then looking down the rest of the grid, you've got John Taylor in the Toro Rosso with Michael Booker in 12th. Matt Dixon 13th. Hopefully it's not an unlucky race for him. Jorge in 14th in the Williams. He'll have a bit of work to do if he wants to get some points. Then you've got Devon and Gregor on row 8. Jimmy in the Haas alongside his teammate Gareth on row 9. And on the back row, you've got Hussein in the Alfa Romeo and Lee in the Toro Rosso. So we've just got a couple of minutes to go before the race gets underway. Time-wise, as far as pit stops are concerned, you're looking at roughly 20 seconds to make a pit stop and maintain position on the track. It'll be very exciting to see what happens here. Of course, there's no formation lap here. When those lights go out, it will be straight into the race.
For the first lap, Kenzie, I think, like you said, corner 1, corner 3, and then definitely castle section is something to look out for. Castle section being your chain of events on this track, because if you have one guy going sideways into castle, you've got quite a big, and I think the most expensive pile up in motor history on this track. So that will be also exciting to look out for tonight.
Yeah, that tight left-right chicane heading into the technical section of the track. Now, as we've got all 20 drivers. Yes, indeed, it's going to be fantastic to see what unfolds over the next 51 laps. As I mentioned in the build-up, the second longest track on the calendar, Spa, of course, being the longest. Very interesting to see what happens here. And here we go. Drivers starting to ready up. Very interesting to see how this all plays out over the course of the next 51 laps.
If I'm not mistaken, the top 10 will be going on softs, and I think the next 5 will be looking at a mixture of mediums and softs.
But regardless, nevertheless, it is race time here in Baku already. Penalty Ortiz, what on earth has happened to him? He's gone from first to last. What on earth happened there? Collision with Jimmy and in time penalty for that collision. Penalty Ortiz is all the way at the back. Morgan time penalty as well. Advantage game by the looks of it. My goodness me. We have contact.
Oh, we have contact.
That's Michael Booker. Goodness gracious.
Oh, and we have another one. The horse and the Ferraris. Krusty and a Ferrari, guys.
The Haas, Jimmy, and Michael Booker and McLaren and Patrick. It has all fallen apart. It's absolute chaos at the start.
We called it, Kingsley. We called it. Corner 1, corner 3. That's where your action's going to be. And I'm looking at the cars going through castle section now. And how is this possible that we didn't have any action in castle section, being the iconic section in this track for incidents?
But you've got Matthew Waddington. He's made up a few places off the start. John Taylor made a few places as well. Caesar made a few places. But Andy Waddington, he is right on the back. Oh, we've got the time. It is Michael Booker. Michael Booker's out of the race already. But Anthony Waddington, he is right on the back of the Mercedes drivers. This is going to be a great battle for the race lead. Stephen leads, Callum seconds, Waddington third, Carl fourth, Charlie fourth, Caesar sixth. Taylor 7th, Kieran 8th, Willem 9th, and Matt rounding up the top 10, battling with Ross for that last racing position. Gregor already in the pits, Tanner Jones in the pits. Is Jimmy going to follow suit? No, he isn't. He's going to stay out on the track.
All of this happened so fast. I couldn't keep up with all the incidents and who hit who. It was chaos.
We've had 2 time penalties already. It was actually Willem in the Williams for collision with penalty at the start, 5 second penalty. Jorge got a 5 second penalty as well for illegally gaining a place on Jimmy. But both Williams with time penalties.
We just had a Ferrari nicking the wall. Mr. Wilson nicked, and he's crashed. He crashed
And
again. First collision in corner in Castle, hitting his right front.
Trying to cut him down with him, but John Baylor is out of the race. He lost part of his front wing, and he's put it into the wall.
I don't have words. I do not have words, Kenzie. This
Two laps
is...
in, and we've already lost two drivers. We're on to lap 3 now. DRS is enabled. Callum going for a move on Stephen. Wellington wants a piece of the action as well. He's got DRS. Is he going to take the lead of the race? It's a drag race down to turn 3.
Oh, they're pushing each other into
He's
the...
going to go for it.
Yes!
Shots to Gordon.
He's still clinched second place.
Unbelievable.
This is... Ross has been compromised by that incident with Jarbe Lou. Just going into the pits now to change the front wing that got damaged by the back of that Ferrari. And I'm just going through all the drivers to see who's got damage and who needs to pit, who's been compromised, because I cannot comprehend all the action that just happened. There's so many things happening in the first 3 laps.
And it doesn't look like we're going to be finished yet. Stephen almost grazing the wall there, heading into the final sector. We've got Wellington right on the back of Callum. Callum will definitely want to make amends after what happened in China 7 days ago.
Wow.
But it's the man that's made the most. The men that made the most places from the start.
Here comes Callum. And Snake's just overtook Wellington.
Stephen
got second place
back with ease. The drivers that have made the most places up off the start over these first few laps. Gareth from 18th up to 10th, and Lee from last up to 12th. Now we're back to a Mercedes 1-2. And Gareth has just overtaken Matt Dixon in what? Borgay in the pits now. Very early for him. He'll change. That one looks like it will more than likely be a front wing change. As much as I want to look at the other battles on the track, I can't keep my eyes off Anthony Waddington in third, still keeping on the back of the Mercedes drivers. But yellow flags there, second 2. That was Gareth. But oh, hang on, Caesar, my mistake. Pulls with Caesar. Oh, has it?
Oh my word!
Trying to get back into position on the track. He has lost part of his front wing as a result. Oh, rotten bit of luck there for Caesar. He had a great start as well, and it's just all fallen apart. Oh, what's happened to him? Gareth has dropped a few places as well.
Oh, he hit the wall again. He hit the wall again.
He almost hit the wall in the race.
Oh,
Yellow flag is sector 2, and that's whoa! What on earth was that? That I think that's Caesar again.
No
It is
front
all
wing.
falling
None.
apart for Caesar. It fell apart for Plain Throttlers, and now it's all falling apart for Caesar.
He's gonna have to give way for that car coming past. He does so.
I think he's lost his front wing completely.
I'm surprised the nose is still there.
How the nose is still intact is beyond me. But like I said, he has lost his front wing completely. He's having to take it very gingerly through this section, and I don't blame him. Gareth is in the pits, Hussein is in the pits, and Caesar's going to need to follow suit. Indeed, he does.
Oh, this has gone horribly long for a few drivers. This is lap 5, Kinsey. This is lap 5.
And it's
How
been
is this
all
gonna end?
manner of chaos. It's been all manner of chaos. We've got two drivers out already. We've had multiple front wing changes. I say pretty much every race we've had in this league has had at least one front wing change from the start.
That fact that you just gave there is due to one reason, and that's corner one incident. Corner one incident on the first lap is your major cause of your front wing damage, because your braking point, trail braking is not something you learn overnight, ladies and gentlemen. Trail braking is one of the most difficult things to do in Formula 1.
This man speaking from experience here, Stephen with the DRS on Callum. Waddington got DRS on Stephen. They're not close enough to make any overtakes on this occasion.
Oh, we have some action. We have some action. I just wanted to get that. I'm listening to the crowd here as well, Kenzie. If I hear a big shout or ooh, then I just want to look at where I can find that incident or overtake. This is street racing. This is a street circuit in Formula 1. This is what you will get. Top class entertainment. I'm still without words.
I said with how fast-paced the action is, it's like something out of the Fast and Furious film.
It is, just without all the flames.
Exactly.
And explosions and guns.
Panagiotis is working his way through the field. He's definitely a man on a mission here. Ended up stone dead last. He's now back up to 11.
Yes, but also due to some guys, on top of him in the grid, that also had to go and pit due to incidents following his own.
Indeed.
Oh my word! It's the front runners that got through. The top 7 stayed in place. The top 7 only swapped a few places between one another in the first 5 laps. Here and there a scratch and a wheel touch, but it's from there that the action happened. It's from there that it all went horribly wrong.
Indeed, but still, this three-way scrap for the lead is definitely it's starting to settle down, but it's not changing the fact that the Mercedes drivers, especially there, it looks like the team managers did just the case of just letting their drivers race. So we've got Waddington, who's also
that will be.
That's right. As Waddington had DRS on Stephen as well. He's not close enough to make any sort of impact. Devin getting past Matt Dixon, meanwhile, up into 8th.
And we still have action with them. The Alpha, barely scraping the wall there. Oh my word, that was close. Flippin' hell, I just grabbed my steering wheel now to correct him, but I couldn't. That didn't help, obviously, but that was close.
How they managed to avoid damage is beyond me. But you've got Panagiotis, he is bearing down on this battle while it's all unfolding.
And Matt Dixon, great driving there to close the inside for and he scraped it with his tyre. He touched the wall with his tyre.
And I think he tried to brake check. Devin as well. And as a consequence of that, Panagiotis is continuing to close that gap. It was at 8 seconds just a few corners ago, and now it's down to less than 5, and it's still falling.
I can't believe my ass. I don't believe what I'm seeing. I know it's hectic on street circuits, but
I think this is just taking it to a whole new level.
Well, thanks for the words there, Kenzie, but street circuits, they are well known for this type of action. I just want to see now. Yes, do we have action?
Yeah, John Taylor in the pits. Very early.
Yeah, but he's got a missing left wing bit over
there.
So
it's another front wing change. I'm not surprised.
The battle between 8th and 9th is not getting to an end. They're swapping places around the circuit as these wheels are swapping. And they touch, and they did touch in that corner. I hope the Renault didn't get any damage. I'm going to swap over to this action. I'm going to put the cam on the Renault of Matt Dixon. Have a look on the inside, and they touch. Oh my word, and there's the alpha.
So to cut in there, Matt Dixon I think he just put Gavin into the wall.
He missed his braking point. It's just what I said moments ago. Trail braking in the slipstream of another car. That's not something you get overnight, guys. It's not something you get overnight. That is what happened there. I can't say that Matt Dixon would have done that on purpose. That's driving experience, driver error. Slipstream trail braking did not go well.
Steel grip pull that off safely, and it's safe to say Matt Dixon being very bold. Meanwhile, up into 9th, he's right on the tail of this battle. Right on the tail of this battle, behind John Taylor. Three-way
I would
scrap for
really
7th place.
wait. If I was
Oh, and John Taylor
wait
tries to
a
catch
moment.
that. John Taylor goes for the move.
Matt Dixon not having anything.
Oh, there we go again. Oh!
Oh my, what happened there? Oh! What on earth happened there? No, proper 86 stuff there. What happened there?
Well, I think someone took the front wing damage down for her.
It's Matt Dixon. Matt
Ben
Dixon
Jordan.
has front wing damage. 3 abreast. Into turn 2. And he's on front wing.
What is going on? Kenzie, what is happening here?
I
Matt
don't
Dixon
know. I think
is a
what
tornado
happened
on this track.
there, I think what happened there, 3 abreast heading to turn 2. I think it was Panagiotis that made contact with Dixon. Dixon in the wall, Panagiotis following suit. Oh my goodness me.
Alright, so all the focus is in the midfield here, because I must tell you, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th. If we're not going to see a wheel falling off these guys, I would be very surprised, because these guys are giving it every bit, and not to miss out on the aggression to save their own positions here and challenge for the position. These guys are going all out. It's gloves off. It is gloves off. And it's sad to say that compromised their race over here. 8th, 9th and 10th has been compromising their race with wing damage. They will have to pit again. And as I say that, Matt Dixon just scraping the wall there again.
He's got Jimmy right behind him as well as a result.
I just couldn't get the words earlier out to say that Panagiotis would have to wait his turn for the main straight to use the Ferrari power to pass. And he's out, he retired.
Panagiotis is out of the race! He's put in the what? Panagiotis, the pole sitter, is out of the race! Both Ferraris are out of the race! What a game changer that's going to be for the Constructors' Championship!
I've seen it all. I now can say, purely as a racer, I've seen it all. What has Baku delivered tonight? My word. But I just have to say this, and all out respect to all the drivers here, but I think Panagiotis compromised himself by not having the composure to wait his chance for the overtake. He pushed for the overtake, compromised on Matt Dixon's Renault, and that made him ultimately make the error that he has now, putting him out of the race. Baku street circuit. This is what you get, ladies and gentlemen.
Unbelievable. And like
I'm
I said,
stunned.
that makes two of us. And it looks like Waddington serving a time penalty by the looks of it. Now, what he got the time penalty for, I don't know. But he's in the pits. He's the first of the front runners to make his first stop. But he's down to 6, so he's going to have good track. He'll be on the medium. He'll be having a good little stint. He might end up with a 2-stop.
Kenzie, I'm really stunned. This is the quietest I've been ever. Well, I can't say that, it seems like a long time. I've only commentated the last race, and that's last weekend, and I was full of words. I am now stunned completely out of any vocabulary. I cannot comprehend what's happening in this race. I am gobsmacked. It's a mix of things. It's a mix of things. The guy's getting in touch with the emotions, the aggression to save and attack, and pulling opportunities where there isn't. It's everything a driver has on the bad and the good side, all mixed into one in the first 10 laps. How do you want to get all that? How do you do all that?
Even I'm normally one that's able to keep. I'm normally able to keep on top of what's going on, but after what I've just seen, it's only lap 12. We've had 3 retirements already, all manner of chaos and drama. All I can say is, good luck making a highlight reel for this race, because you might as well just put the entire race into the highlight reel.
Well, the highlight, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be an hour and a half long minimum, so bear with us, because there isn't moments that we can take out of this and say, well, here you go. I think we can have one highlight, and that's when the race winner crosses the line, and that will be 10 seconds. But apart from that, welcome to our seat. It's going to be an hour and a half long, ladies and gentlemen, because it's not going to end soon. It's not going to end soon. The only thing that we can say is the 2 Mercedes is pulling an extensive lead on the rest of the grid. 1-2, and that leads the race by 13 seconds. So that's maybe one thing that we can pull out of it. But the rest, there's no highlight. I can't see that there will be a highlight. We need a professional video editor to give us those highlights, and I think it will still be longer than half an hour.
Yeah, if you're sitting in the pits meanwhile.
Kinsey, if I may, just to sum up the first 10 laps, let's just do the first 10 laps, not even the first 5. The first 10 laps, we had a pole sitter that ultimately lost out in the race. We had midfield guys being compromised not once, but twice. And that's by a mix of things. Driver error, driver emotions, attacking and defending errors. We had the bottom of the grid being compromised by the midfield having those errors. That's your 10 laps. That's your first 10 laps on Baku. So if you guys just tune in, for any other viewer, just tune in. That's the first 10 laps that we're doing. Full of action.
Yeah. And just to recap, those that have actually retired from the race, Michael Booker retired after putting it into the wall. Jarberu, a few laps later, he put it into the wall. Panagiotis, he put it into the wall and ended up out of the race as well. Both Ferraris are out of the race. This is what, and I said it after that happened, this is going to be a game changer when it comes to the Constructors' Championship.
Well, because one of the corners like this,
hang on, what's happened here? Oh, no, that's Kyle Keegan. He's put it in the wall. Kyle Keegan had a great qualifying performance. He was 4th, and now he's out of the race now.
what is happening?
What's this meant to be? Formula 1 or the Grand National?
Well, the Grand National, I think, is a little bit understated to where we are today. Because coming to Baku, the Grand National would look like a go-kart race. This is ridiculous. It begs the question, has there been practice from these drivers, or is it purely the pressure they're putting themselves into? Because getting qualifying results they got it good. Is the race pressure on? Is it a lack of practice? Is it what is going on here? I'm trying to sum it up, and I'm trying to sum it up in a sense that we don't criticize any driver or any mistake from any of them. I'm trying to sum up what is happening on this circuit, on this race. Kenzie, I don't miss a Formula 1 race, and I'm normally on point when I say something happens in Formula 1, and I'm talking about Formula 1 real world. Lewis Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, those. I'm normally on point what I say, but I don't have anything to say that's going to be on point at this moment. I really don't. Alright, it seems that the whole grid is now gone for wing changes, so it seems like everyone now has a proper front wing on the car, except the horse of Krusty Cloud. I'm not sure what his real name is.
That's Jimmy. He's done well. He's up into 8th. I mean, Gregor, he had a 4th qualifying performance. He's up into 7th.
And it seems like he's the only driver still with a bit of wing damage in that horse. The rest I'm trying to have a look at, and it seems like they all had gone for the repairs.
Apart from people like Callum and Stephen, they are 1 and 2. And oh, hang on, I think that's a Red Bull.
Yes.
That's a Red Bull off. It was Ross. He's got front wing damage. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm talking to earlier. You see, I'm out of tune in this race. He does have wing damage on the left hand side. The end plate has gone off.
Oh my goodness.
But Kenzie, this is one of the tracks that you can live with that type of damage. And he just scraped the wall again. Now he's got complete left wing damage. That will definitely not go well. Your left front will get the worst of this. The tires and race pace now for Ross is going to be a huge issue. He's already getting the blue flags by the Mercedes. And they're working their way up to the horse of Clamber and Matt Dixon.
The horse of Gareth, yeah.
Oh, Gareth, yes, thank you.
Looks like we've managed to get Caesar back in after his technical issues. So,
is there anything from the viewers, Kenzie? I mean, there must be some sort of reaction.
I think they are just as stunned as we are. Let's just put it this way. They're probably just as stunned as we are with what they've just witnessed.
I think they threw the keyboards away. I think they threw the keyboard against the wall seeing all of this action. They don't have anything to type with.
Yellow flags in sector 3. Yellow flags in sector 3. What's happened? Has anybody gone off?
I'm having a look now. It doesn't seem that way. Can't find anything. I think it might have been. Yes. Telfi. Telfi has lost a lot of wind. He has lost a lot of wind.
Oh yeah, Greg. That is really unfortunate. But meanwhile, up the front, we've got Wallington battling Willem for 3rd place.
I'm just going to point out that Willem Brits is very well known for his defensive skills. It would come good in play to see what he does in that Williams against the ring of Warrington.
The experience coming in very handy for Willem, and I mentioned it during qualifying. He's a legend in South Africa, in the South African Formula 1 community.
I mentioned that during qualifying, and he's definitely showing it here that he could end up being a worldwide star. I wouldn't be too surprised if in the next year or so he could end up battling for the championship.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised as well seeing that happen, but he will need to get out of that Williams if there's any transfer opportunities for him. But that also comes into play in the Talk of the Devil League. You need to earn and work yourself up. But I think he's done a stellar job so far. It's only round 4, and look at his standings. So I think he would be closer to the end of the season, maybe promoted, or how does that work, Lindsay?
It's just the one division that we've got for the main league. We have reserve drivers that can fill the vacant slots for the regular in case some of the regular drivers can't make it for a race. And in this case, we had Jarvis coming in for Gary, because Gary couldn't make it this weekend. But I've just seen Steven come into the pits. He had some front wing damage, so he is now fourth, currently behind Anthony Waddington. But you've got Kieran in the red board behind him. Yellow flag to section 1, Reed's out of the race. We've just lost another driver. What's going on? It was a turn 3.
I just could not get fast enough to that accident. I'm on board with Waddington. That's on the gearbox of English Iowa. But what happened with Neymar in the tournament? What happened to him?
What I just saw from the camera shots of Caesar going past him, he misjudged his braking point and just went straight into the wall on the exit of turn 3. And now we've got yellow flag in sector 3. Where's that toy? Where's that toy story when you need it?
Well, while the battle is happening from 30 seconds, we've got Mercedes already going to lap the battle. The Mercedes of Slater is lapping the battle between 4th and 3rd. And as I say that, Waddington overtook Williams. He's made the move and made it stick in corner 1.
But he didn't actually lap. He didn't actually do any lapping. He actually managed to get second place back.
Oh! What I missed?
Well, what happened was Steven went into the pits a couple of laps ago and ended up having to do the front wing as a result. And now he's half a minute behind Callum. Callum's got a pit stop in then.
Callum has got a free pit stop. That's in essence what happened. He's got a free pit stop now on top of his teammates.
But I wouldn't start celebrating too early because that gap is starting to close. It was at half a minute. It's now down to 27 seconds. It's gone to 26, and it's still falling. That gap is still falling.
New tires, and that is the softs. It's the soft on that car and it's the mediums on Callum. So that will play a big difference on the corner exits. But let me repeat this, your rear tire doesn't love this track. So I would be very careful if I'm snapping, not to get the best of those rears. I don't want to heat them up too much in the exits.
Yeah, the those tires are only good for at most somewhere in the region of about 15 laps at most. But that gap is
most,
still...
and then you're pushing.
But that gap is still falling. And as I say that, Steven just got the fastest lap of the race. Now, with regards to the fastest lap, for those that are new to this league, we've got a fastest lap point for the fastest lap inside the top 10, and then we've got a bonus point for the fastest lap outside the top 10, providing you finish the race.
Well, that's a good mechanics setup to have for the league. That's something the guys should definitely go and play for, because believe it or not, but that 1 point can put you one place higher on the drivers championship. Can make all the difference.
especially with, like you mentioned, with how tight the midfield in the championship is. Only 6 points from, what was it, 4th through to 13th?
4th to 13th. Yeah, 4th to 13th is 6 points difference. So a fast lap can, I don't have the leaderboard in front of me. I think 9th place can jump 2 spots by having 1 point for the fastest lap. So that's how 1 point can play a difference in this sport.
Yeah, it's Gregor Telford at the moment has the fastest lap outside the top 10. He would get that bonus point for the fastest lap outside the top 10. Callum is in the pits meanwhile. The big question is he gonna get out ahead of Stephen? He's made his stop.
Yes, he is. He's done with his stop. He will go into corner 2 while his teammate is going into corner 1. So, yeah, that was a free pit stop. Onto the softs. But a great spot also by Callum, being an experienced driver, to see that those times are tumbling, and it is lap 20, which is a good amount of laps on your mediums. So this will be a good stopper for Callum, going from mediums to soft, I suppose.
That was indeed, like you said, there, very well played from our defending champion. He managed to maintain position on the track. He is now 6 seconds ahead of his teammate. So the running order on lap 20, Callum is leading, Stephen second, Waddington third, Keenan fourth, Will Embritts in fifth, Devon sixth, Horgan and Sister Williams seventh, Matt Dixon 8th, Jimmy 9th, and John Taylor rounding up the top 10.
And what a surprising top 10, I must also add, seeing all the action in the first 10 laps. I'm still surprised there's 15 cars on track, Kenzie. I thought we were going to have a race stop by lap 5.
I would have been very surprised if that happened. But Jimmy trying to get past John Taylor, but John shutting the door on him. You ain't getting past me today. He's got DRS heading up to turn 3. It's not going to be as big a run as Main Straight.
It's
not going to be anywhere
close between 9th, 10th and 11th. This is the battle to watch at the moment, while we have Kieran trying to close the gap on 3rd place, which is Waddington in the Renault.
Indeed. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in this second stint of the race. Caesar getting past Hussein meanwhile.
Yes. That Mercedes engine helping him down the Alpha.
We've got yellow flag
And
in sector 2.
we've got Matt Dixon.
That's Matt Dixon! Put it in the wall! Are you kidding me? But
How many times, Matt?
Crucial is still in the race! Misjudged the
Evil
braking
Knievel.
point, and he's lost pretty much the entirety of the right side of his front wing. That is going to be another front wing change.
Evil Knievel, if I may, I need to do that. But wow!
I'm sure he will appreciate that. I'm sure he will appreciate that.
Telford just getting the bad end again of that incident. He was a long way behind him. Just coming lucky that
He's lucky to have avoided it.
damage. He does
And Matt
have
Dixon
to
gets a
really
5 second
in play.
Matt Dixon a time
Yep.
penalty speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, well, you
Gregor
have
in
to
the pits as
speed.
well now. Is he saying that? My goodness me. Oh!
Retired.
Hussein is out of the race now. We're down to 14. And you can definitely see from this race why they do not want to race around Monaco. Because after today, I don't blame them.
I'm with you, but it's still a sad story. Kenzie, it's all about, it's a few things that makes you go into the rear end or the gearbox of the car you're following or trying to overtake. It's definitely the obsession to be in the front. That's one of the things. It's the aspect of misjudgment on how much earlier you need to brake to compensate for the driver in front of you, and that is the term trail braking. I cannot, and there's a few guys that I actually help in the Oral SA League that to get to grips with the game, that just got it and wants to join league racing. And that's one of the things I hammer on, is trail braking. I take them around the track and I brake earlier than what I'm supposed to, just to teach them how to follow a driver around the corner that you want to attack. I think that was the major part here for this period in the race, for incidents having been damaged.
So definitely from that story there, folks, definitely means that it would be a great opportunity for you to potentially be a mentor to some of the newcomers to racing.
It's like, Kenzie, I always explain it to the guys like this. It's when you try something new, you learn by your own mistakes. 100%, there's nothing wrong with that. But why not? Why not have the opportunity for someone that made the mistakes already, that can show you, maybe guide you by not making those mistakes on your own. That's the nice part of it.
And they are, like I said, having a mentor to be able to help you with learning from those mistakes.
Yeah, and it's something I didn't have when I started off last year. And again, I didn't have a racing game. I've never played a racing game. Nevertheless, league racing. I just started by my own devices, even on a controller. I periodically, upgraded to a racing rig and a nice setup with a wheel and pedals and all of that stuff. But I learned the hard way. I crashed people out of the races. I crashed ranked. I crashed everything, single thing that you can think of. I crashed, and I've gone to a point that I've switched all the systems where I'm at now. So I've really gone into the deep end. I've put myself into the deep end, but that's in essence the only way you learn, except if you have, like you say, the nice word, a mentor to help you. And that's not something that I had. But yes, I think the major role today for mid-race incidents is trail braking. That's my view, and the viewers are more than welcome to also disagree, but I think that's what happened. Just to point out, after the pit stops of the Mercedes, they're starting to pull a gap again on that Renault of Waddington. 15 seconds it is now.
Well, granted, Waddington is on the medium. Granted, Waddington is on the medium tyres, but while Callum, yes, doesn't have the one lap pace, he definitely has the race pace. He's got the consistency to be able to keep that race pace going.
Oh, that's another thing to also keep in mind. Race pace and one lap pace, that's two different things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because lap consistency, getting to your race pace, that's a lot of things considered. It's your tire wear, it's your fuel management, it's your racing lines. You need to be consistent, and that will only, then if you tick all the boxes, that will give you consistent lap times. And just for the new guys out there, if you can be consistent, then be consistently slow also. If you're consistent fast, great. But if you're slow, don't worry. because you're consistently slow. The word consistent is key. That is what can win you a race by the end of the day, being fast or slow.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. The key word there being consistency.
Consistency won me a lot of races, and I wasn't fast. I was slow, and I wasn't a
They'll like to text you. Oh, hang
Krusty
on.
Clown just retired.
That's Jimmy out of the race. We're now down to 13. At this point, the viewers are going to be predicting. Okay, who's going next to? Who's going to be next to retire?
Well, we might have just run a lotto. It's only 13 numbers, ladies and gentlemen. I think you're going to pick a right order here. What is it going to be? A 5, a 7, a 9, and a 10? Because I'm sure you're going to win tonight. We can literally do a lottery on this. There's only 13 drivers left, Kenzie. What the hell? I've never seen this.
And we lost 4 of them in the first 10 laps, if that.
5! In the first 5 laps, we lost 2 already. This is not over, Kenzie. This is not over. We're just approaching halfway now. And we're already almost through half of the grid.
7 drivers.
This is a 50-50 race. If you want to do the comparison. Halfway through the race, almost half of the drivers gone. What an epic Baku event. I think this is going to be the event of the season for you guys. I'm talking to them.
It's going to take something very special to top this one, I will say that. But,
well, I can tell you how you're going to top that. Just run Monaco. Then you'll have a top performance.
Well, there you go. Maybe the FCC might actually take it into consideration and actually do the Monaco Grand Prix, but we'll wait and see
just
what
for
happens.
the fact of entertainment. Take the points away and take the realism away.
Just have it as
entertainment.
an exhibition race.
Elimination round.
So that's what you're saying is just have Monaco on the calendar performance, just have it as an exhibition race and not have it counted as a championship.
That's it, and take the realism away. Make equal performance, allow all the assists, and let them just go. Take the team managers away with one message. Well, just with one message. Write everything you see, and then you will have a top of Azerbaijan. I promise you.
I would actually pay good money to see that happen.
But put damage on simulation. For God's sake, just put it on simulation. I want to see wheels and engines fly out of these cars. Because that's what you're going to get on Monaco after seeing that.
I can actually picture that happening, and it would probably be 10 times as chaotic as what we've just seen so far.
Swimming pool. I put money on swimming pool being the biggest accident pool on Monaco if they have to run it. That's where my money is. Swimming pool.
Oh boy. Well, I'm sure the Apple team will be listening, will be watching this back, listening to the commentary. They might actually take it into consideration.
That would be the most entertaining ever, I'm telling you now. I think the viewers, if there's any viewers, if I can cut in here by Kenzie, if there's any viewers listening to me right now, get onto the website, get the contact details of the athletes, send them a request to run Monaco, just for the fact of entertainment. Please, I want to be there, I want to see it happen. I don't know about you, but contact them, send the request. Let's see what happens.
Let's put it this way. If that does happen, I would love to have you on commentary for that race.
Kenzie, that would be... I'm telling you now, I won't be stunned as what I am now because this race actually counts to the championship, and I think some of these are going to be beyond their own aggression and emotions. But in Monaco, I think it would be a good laugh for the drivers, and I think it would also add up to getting a lot of the emotions out of the way, seeing that it's for fun, if I can put it in that sense. And for the viewers, it will be the most entertaining ever. So yeah, I would be honored being alongside you.
But to get back to this race, the only driver that's managed to keep, no pun intended, the only driver that's managed to keep his nose clean is Callum. He's managed to keep his nose clean throughout a majority of his races, apart from what happened in China 7 days ago.
Well, I'm looking at the incidents now, and I must say that, yeah, you're right. He's the only one to keep his nose clean if I go through all of this. And, oh my word, this is like 6 pages long, the incidents report. And Matt Dixon being the most popular on it, unfortunately for him. And have you seen the laps where the accidents happen? Third quarter of all the accidents, 3/4 of it was in lap 9. From there, it is now nicely spread out between lap 9 and 25. So,
I'm looking at the incident right now. It's like just the first part of it is all lap 1. Then the next little bit, lap 1, lap 1, lap 2, lap 2, lap 2, lap 2, lap 4, 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 lap 5, lap 9, 9, 13, 16, 20, 20, 21, 23, 25.
and that's about to get the concertina effect on these type of circuits, especially with short runs between corners. You know, the cars spread and pile up, and that's where your accidents happen, because it's your perspective. You lose your perspective as a driver in that moment, because you have 16 or 15 cars behind you on your gearbox ready to overtake if you make a mistake, and you've got this one little car in front of you that you need to concentrate on, and it sometimes just gets the best of you, and that's where the concertina effect comes in. You just lose perspective, and you run into someone or in the wall, miss your braking point, miss your turning. There you go. That's the action-packed recipe, right?
Meanwhile, we're on to lap 29 now. Callum's still leading, Stephen's still second. That's one of the Alphas. That's Devon. Callum and Stephen coming through to lap Devon. That means the top 5 are the only ones still on the lead lap. Callum leads, Stephen second, Waddington third, Kieran fourth, Ruin fifth, Devon sixth, Horgate in the pits, Ross 7th, John Taylor 8th, Matt Dixon, actually scratch that, Ross up into 7th, John Taylor up into 8th, Horgate down to 9th, Matt Dixon 10th, Gregor, Gareth and Caesar, the only drivers outside the top 10 right now, but goodness me. Devon, out of everyone that's still racing, he's made the most places with 9 places from 15th on the grid.
Yeah, that's I think the most impressive of them all in this part of the race. But as it stands now, the top 2 is the Mercedes, Callum and Stephen. For a team of Mercedes, where would this, if this was the end of the race, where would this standings put Mercedes in contention for the constructors?
Yeah, and with the way things stand at the moment, they are going to take a very comfortable lead in the Constructors' Championship.
And I think for Callum, this would be a nice redemption race, if I can put it in that sense, being the championship, previous championship winner, the reigning champion.
Indeed, it would definitely be a great way to make up for what happened in China last week.
Yeah, if you take the China accident and you compare it to Baku, you would have expected that to happen in Baku and not in China. But again, 2 different circuits, 2 different circumstances, everything is different starting places on the grid, different drivers behind, in front of you. It's a complete different scenario, but again, you would have expected to see something like that happen in Baku and not in China, being an open circuit and this one being a speed circuit. And Callum himself being as good as a driver as he is.
But of course, one of the key things to remember is that this race is dry and the one in China is wet.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the scenarios I'm talking about. You know, racing in the wet is, I think, the most difficult thing next to becoming a millionaire. If I can compare it like that, it's almost impossible to race in the wet.
Stephen's back in the pits. Stephen's back in the pits. He's going on to the mediums. He'll be going to the end of the race.
That's the strategy change there. And just to point out, I happen to know that Mercedes have extremely talented strategists amongst their team. Being the team manager in the same role, if I'm not mistaken, there, Kenji.
Yeah, they certainly know how to. They certainly have that racing formula down to the T.
Yeah, if you are behind the wheel of one of these machines, you tend to think you know best when to change tires and when not to, and when to push and when not to. But having someone from the outside looking at your pace, looking at your times and your tire wear and all that, that just opens up your perspective being behind the wheel to know what to do. Am I pitting? Am I pushing? Am I holding back a bit? Am I saving? You know, what's the plan here to give you the best possible window over the car following you or the position you are attacking?
Yeah, with 20 laps to go now, where Callum's still in the lead. But again, just like after the last pit stop, that gap is the gap is around about 20 seconds. He's just got enough to make a pit stop and still come out in the lead, providing that he has a very quick stop.
Oh, we have a wall. Wing damage galore, bits and pieces of carbon fiber flying around that corner. And again into the wall, touching the wheel there.
That was John Taylor, and the only Toro Rosso left in the race.
And hopefully he can stay in the race.
Got to be careful here.
This corner will catch him out if he's too fast in there. How he not lost that wheel is above my IQ. I cannot grasp how he kept that wheel on that car. That was a solid connection. Well, he does have the pace to climb back. And there is a bit of time left between the rest of the drivers. So we're going to see some action here from 13th to 10th place. If he comes out early enough. And the wing change would have cost him a lot of time in the pits.
Indeed.
We have Matt Dixon on the hard tyre. And he's already 10 laps in on the hard tyre. And he's pulling out those lap times. And I think the hard tyre is working best for him. Slowing him down a little bit more. And I think it's a bit necessary because he's going into corners quite fast, causing him a lot of wing damage early on the race. So I think the hard tyres is a top-notch choice for him. Just slowing him down a little bit.
Hopefully it doesn't slow him down too much, as he's definitely battling for a point-to-point position. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
And also to mention that Ross is also on the hard tyre, and this would be going to the end for those two drivers so early. You would get 30 to 35 laps on the hards, and they're already 16 laps in, so that means they only got 15 laps left. They're going to have barely any rear left tyres or any rear tyres left by the end of this race. And we've got a yellow sector too. What happened there?
I think that was I did see the yellow flag come out, but couldn't see who it was for. The only thing I can think of is it might have been for Gareth in the Haas trying to overtake Taylor in the Toro Rosso, but it wasn't happening.
It was Gareth in the horse that got wing damage.
The yellow flag is 63 out for a brief moment. He's now back in the pits. That gap is still falling. The gap's down to 18 seconds, which means regardless of when Callum pits, Stephen will take the lead of the race, and then it will just be a race between them to the finish.
But they really have a comfortable lead to the Renault of Waddington. And just to point out again, Waddington and the Renault having a stellar race tonight.
Indeed, he had a great qualifying session. He's sixth, despite a couple of incidents at the start of the race. He managed to get himself back up to third.
Having a battle with Willem Brits, and then following that battle was Kieran in the Red Bull with Willem Brits. But Willem Brits having also an extremely excellent race, being fifth in a Williams. And the gap has now grown to 7.4 seconds behind Kieran. So slowly losing a bit of time, but keeping that position at bay at the moment.
Yes, it's, the gap at the front, meanwhile, is down to 17 seconds, still falling. So we could be in for a very feisty battle between the Mercedes drivers in the closing stages of the race. We're on lap 34, we'll be hitting lap 35.
Yeah, but that's again up to strategy, because if you look at the tyres, Callum is on 14 laps on the mediums and Snake is on lap 3 with those mediums. So I suspect another 5 or 4 laps from now we would see Callum even pushing it for a little bit more than 10 laps, maybe 9 laps from now. We would see Callum going into the pit. But as you say, then it would be a close race between him and Stephen for the checkered flag. Providing there's no incidents, which you've seen a lot of tonight.
Lap 35. We've got 13 drivers left in the race. We've lost 7, a handful of those within the opening laps. Gap's now coming down, it's still falling, it's down to 16 seconds. Not really much else happening out on track. Callum leading, Stephen second, Waddington third, Kieran fourth, Willem Britt 6th, Devon 7th, Ross 8th. No, Devon 6th, Ross 7th, sorry. Holgate 8th, Matt Dixon up into 9th. Caesar just taking 10th after his teammate Gregor is in the pits. Taylor up into 11th now, and Gareth will be 13th and last, which means Gregor is 12th.
Yes, after a pit stop, with his left front wing having a bit of damage to it with the end plate. And he went on to the runoff. And he hit the end of the runoff with the front wing. He just got a new replacement on that front wing.
Are you kidding me?
What? Has he lost complete control of that brake pedal?
That has got
Not
to be
able-
one of... That has got to be one of the most frustrating things for any Formula 1 driver. You come into the pits, you change your front wing, and right out the gate you end up with muffling damage on the new front wing. Guys,
It's literally a moment you want to eat your steering wheel. You want to shove your steering wheel down your own throat at that moment. He's gonna be livid. He's
And
gonna
even
be
that might be an understatement.
He's probably going to draft the pink off that car now after another wing change, being so angry with himself. I can just only imagine.
The pink will end up turning to... The pink might end up being a scarlet red at the end of all this.
we will be mistaken that the Ferrari has joined the track again. If that happens.
At this point, that wouldn't surprise me given how frustrated he must be feeling.
Well, I can tell you that his face is as red as lava in that helmet. I'm just not able to comprehend all the action because as I go through the driver's cameras on the broadcast, you just see bits and pieces of front wing and carbon fiber, the whole track full. It's just everywhere. I'm happy I'm not a marshal on this track today. What a mess.
Now that everything's started to settle down there, Steven still has the fastest lap, which means he'll get the bonus points. But outside of the top 10, it's only Ace, John Taylor, Gregor, and Garrett. It would be Gregor, that would get the bonus point for the fastest lap outside the top 10, even though there's only got 13 drivers left.
Yeah, well, the probability of events for him getting the bonus point is quite large. If you can, I mean, it's 33.3% for him getting the bonus point with that 145.5. So, you know, one of the hardest things around this track, Kenzie, is the fact of keeping your concentration. The moment everything happened and you had this is the part of the race that you tend to lose concentration. This is the part where you tend to just close your eyes for that 1 second and go into the wall. This is the difficult part of the race. The first and the last session of the race is where you have all your senses focusing on the race. And this middle part is where you tend to fall apart, where you lose your concentration. So, we're almost through that section of the race, but I'm still not calling it a. I'm still not comfortable calling anything on this.
Again, I don't blame you. Gap at the front, meanwhile, is now down to 13 seconds, so who knows what's going to happen after that.
Well, I suspect another 5 laps, within 5 laps, Callum will be pitting. If I'm reading their strategy correctly, because if he's going to be pitting, he will be able to go onto the softs if he does have a set left, and go to the end with 11-12 laps remaining if he does it now. So I suspect he would go as long as possible, maybe 20-25 laps with those mediums, and then go over to a soft to pull in on his teammate that's on the mediums and go for the fastest lap as well. I think that is what's going to happen here, but I might be wrong. This is Azerbaijan with half of the grid DNFing, so anything is possible. It's mind-blowing.
So I'm just looking at how long everyone's been on each tyre. Devon has been on his set of mediums for 23 laps. Callum's only been on his for 18. But depending on the time, depending on your skills with time management, it is doable to be able to get over 20 laps out of the medium tyre, so he may be able to go for a sprint finish on the soft tyres, providing he has a set left.
Yeah, and as you say that about who is that? Captain? Sorry, you told me you have his name?
Devon.
In the Alpha? Devon, right. Being 23 laps, have you seen the lap time of 23rd? Guys, on his gearbox, ready to attack. He's only 5 tenths off now. 3 tenths. So 25 laps. That will be pushing it. As I said earlier as well, just before the race starts.
Jorge's last lap was a 1:46.8. Devon on the same set of tyres, a 1:54.4. He lost 6 seconds.
Yeah, and he's
he
into the
lost,
pits as we speak.
and I don't blame him given how badly the tyres have fallen off the cliff.
Your guy, however, is very well on his way to finish the race on those set of mediums. As it is with second, third and fourth place currently. With Warrington, Stephen and Kieran. They all seem to be able to finish the race on those sets. And as you have it, they go out on another set of softs. So I suspect Callum will be doing the same now. Shortly. As you see those times also tumbling, Stephen catching up quite quickly now.
1:43.0 from Stephen. That's the fastest lap of the race on those mediums. That's a very impressive lap time.
And you will be seeing the 141s come up and the 140s maybe even with the fuel load becoming less and all the rubber on track. So elements that I would call a fast lap 140, 141 now.
See if we get to that stage.
So he's got a big job to do, Devon, to be able to catch on Caesar. And your guy is now starting to closing that gap just ever so slightly between Ross and himself. Winterish is now 14 seconds behind Kieran in the Red Bull.
The question is that gap going to continue to fall? You're looking at about a second and a half a lap to try and get fourth place.
Well, there's only 11 laps left. If you look at it now, Ross is almost a lap behind Willem in that Williams. So Willem is in a comfortable position as it stands. He's really comfortable now. He can afford to lose the second and a half lap.
That's a very while that's happening, Callum making his final stop of the day. It was a very quick lap time, very quick pit stop.
I will not believe it if they haven't pitted Callum on lap. How many laps did he do on these tires? 21?
He managed to get 21 laps out of those tyres. He's got 10 laps left on these tyres. He's 7 seconds behind Stephen. It's doable. We're going to be in for a sprint finish here.
Just want to mention here on the telemetry of Callum's car right now, he is saving ERS a lot. He's on low mode on the ERS, so he will be saving ERS, which means he will be saving those rear tires as well. The softs, in essence, with this telemetry that I just explained, that will still give him an edge on lap time with 10 laps on the mediums, which Stephen is running. So he will be catching.
Indeed, Callum's just turned the ERS up to level 3, and oh, hang on a minute, hang on a second.
Disconnected.
As I say that, Callum's got technical issues. That's the sort of thing you can really do with that right now.
What?
Oh, goodness me.
You're gonna see hammers and fists and every sort of thing that Callum can get now flying through that exhaust. You would just want to get that thing online again.
It's gonna be like those signature shots of Toto Wolff banging the desk in frustration.
I'm picturing Toto Wolff now with that signature on the table. What happened now? Come Callum.
And as a result of those technical issues, that gap is continuing. that gap is continuing to grow. Stephen will have been made aware of the technical issues that Callum has.
And he will be pushing now, as it is a golden opportunity to extend that lead over Callum. Is there a way that a person like this can get invited back or reconnected other than his own devices, or what happens in a situation like this? We had it in China.
I'm in the process of trying to get him back, but at the moment I can't seem to do it because I think it's because I'm a spectator that I can't get Callum back. I can't get. I can invite him to the party, but I can't get him back into the game.
Well, let me go on to his name here. Yes. I'm also unable to do an invite to the game. From my side, I'm also unable to do that. It's blanked out.
That is
Callum, if you can hear us, we are so sorry to see this happen. We wanted to see the race between you and Steven. I want to see that race. There's 8 laps left. Come on, Xbox. Come on, Formula 1. Get him back in here, man. Sector 3, yellow flag. What's happening here?
I think it was for John Taylor. He's coming into the pits.
It's falling apart for these guys tonight. Another wing change for the Toro Rosso of...
That was John Taylor. Yeah, that explains the yellow
John
flag.
Taylor.
That explains the yellow flag.
And he's still comfortably in front of Gareth in the Haas. Gareth going out in the softs. I don't think he's got it in that Haas to catch up. Another 10 seconds between 7 laps remaining odd. And Callum is not back. Callum is still not back.
Yeah, that gap is continuing to grow. Callum's now 15 seconds behind.
And it was 7 going for 6 seconds at a point. 2 laps he lost 7 seconds to the AI driver in this car. That's something to point out, that what? Willem Brits just put the fastest lap on in that Williams, 142.
Yikes!
142.9, and I said we're gonna see a 141 here tonight, and that was supposed to come from the Mercedes of Callum, but Willem Brits is gonna get the bonus point as it stands now with 6 laps remaining.
Well, we've actually got 8 laps to go, 7 after this.
Oh, 7 after this. Yeah, you're right, because the last one also counted. Sorry for my mathematics failing me there. Best not to mention that again. What a lap by Willem Brits.
Indeed, that's like, I mean, with all the chaos and the action, you've got to feel bad for Callum with these technical gremlins. Of all the times for the gremlins to strike, why did it have to be after he made his pit stop?
Of course, I can't agree more with you, Kingsley. The thing is, what I wanted to mention before I saw the lap there by Willem Brits is, this is something for Formula 1 to look out for. If you should get disconnected, make the AI as good as the real driver in that car was. Make that realistic as well. If you choose Valtteri Bottas' car or you choose Lewis Hamilton's car, make that car on AI as good as the real driver, because we are racing realistic performance here tonight. So the AI should also be realistic when you should get a disconnection or get a disconnection. That's my point of view. But the AI is so slow in this game that you can't rely on it.
I think the problem with that is because when the lobby is actually set up, because of how low the AI level is, the AI is only at 40, which would be ideal for those that are just starting out. But not like you said. But like you said, not when it comes to something like this.
I would make the AI 110% if I was, if I happened to be the lobby leader. Just being scared that I might be kicked out. So I have a proper computer, if you can put it in that sense, a virtual person driving my car at that level. This is so unfortunate for Callum. I can't even think of what he's doing right now. Just doing anything he can to get back into this. But he's still got time to spare, so second place seems like it will be his at the moment.
The gap's 18 seconds between him and Waddington. Waddington would need to catch Callum at roughly 3 seconds a lap.
But not gonna happen on mediums. Not gonna happen on mediums. But this is the thing. We wanted to see the fight between 1 and 2.
Sorry to cut in there, but as you say that, the gap's tumbling. The gap is tumbling. Callum's second place is in jeopardy. The gap's down to 15 seconds and still falling. 5 to go after this.
We wanted to see the battle between first and second. We didn't want to see an AI drive car number 2 tonight. It would be so fortunate for Wellington. Yes, it would be in his favour, and I would be very happy for him if he does overtake Callum AI. But ultimately, I don't think that's what everyone wanted. You don't want to win a place like that either as a driver king. I don't think Waddington would celebrate that he overtook Callum's AI, but he will definitely celebrate that he's got second place. But ultimately, he would also say that that's not how I want it.
It would be, yeah, exactly. It would be a bittersweet second place for him. A la the issues that happened with Charles Leclerc towards the end of the Bahrain Grand Prix earlier this season. He was on course for the win, and then a turbocharger issue, and Hamilton said on the team radio afterwards that Leclerc deserved that win.
He did, eh? He did. That young lad definitely deserved that win. Yeah, but getting back to Formula 1 news, just quick, while we waiting for all the action here on the track to come to a close, is that I am very happy that Mercedes made the correct decision by keeping Valtteri Bottas after the talks that they wanted to let him go. And the change from Red Bull to Alexander Albon letting Pierre Gasly go back to the junior team. That's the two major shifts on the summer break that I'm very happy the way it played out. I think it's decisions from those two teams, in my view.
Indeed, we've got 4 laps to go after this. That gap's now down to 9 seconds.
Oh.
But there's an even more horrifying prospect for Callum because of his technical gremlins. He may not even get onto the podium.
Yeah, looking at Kieran's pace on those mediums being the same amount of laps as Waddington, 16 and 17 laps on those two guys' tyres, and the gap between Kieran and Waddington is only 2 seconds, so that's 10 seconds in respect that might be caught up to Callum. Oh my word. Callum is going to sell his Xbox after this.
We are going to need to be very careful with what we say in the press conference after this. We are going to need to be very careful.
Yeah. This is now actually putting yourself in a very tight spot for playing Martin Brundle's role post-race interview.
Yeah.
As Martin Brundle respectively was earlier this year with his Canada interviews between Hamilton and Vettel, stirring between them on the podium, which I think you would want to avoid tonight.
Indeed.
Oh my word! It just doesn't stop. The action just doesn't stop. It even goes through to the interviews.
Yeah.
Baku.
Yeah, there's
Baku.
three laps to go after this. The gap's down to 4 seconds. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen.
You stole the words out of my mouth. Inevitable.
Matt Dixon getting a time penalty meanwhile, but that's not going to affect things too much apart from dropping a place or two in the final race standings. Steven still has the fastest lap. He'll get that bonus point. And Gregor still has
As we go to the close,
the top 10.
Gareth just overtook the Alfa Romeo in 12th place. Gareth just went up another place. And it looks like the Alfa Romeo is struggling for grip or pace. Yeah, because he's 21 laps on the softs. He will
That
not...
is beggars belief.
21 laps on the softs.
Wow. How he hasn't got a puncture yet is beyond me.
Or even went off. With those rears would be done. I can't see them be anything below 60 or 70% already.
And
even more.
And Waddington's right on the back of Callum. Waddington is right on the back of Callum. There's nothing Callum can do.
Nothing you can do.
There we
I
go.
will do a little bit of a fight, but that's as much as you're going to see from a fight.
There you go. Waddington up into second place. Kieran's going to have DRS. Callum's still putting up
And the
a fight
AI is
for
still
second
challenging.
place. But is it too little too late? And
What has he done?
Kieran just,
What?
my goodness me! I think he just went on Daniel Kabir and just went for a torpedo.
What was that?
I think he lost part of his front wing as a result.
He's lost his mind. Kinsey, that's what he's done. Again hitting the wall. He lost his mind.
He went for the torpedo. He's lost his front wing completely. Will him in the pit.
Is there still a chassis left on that car?
I'd be
How's
very
it cost him
surprised.
driving?
But what this does mean is that
Callum is on the podium. Callum will be on the
my
podium.
goodness me.
He just had a new fast lap. I just want to see who's that, and that will be
That was
Steven with the
Steven that just got a new
1.2.5.
fastest lap. It was Steven with the new fastest lap. Goodness me.
Kenzie. Sorry for the laughter, but I can't believe what I saw from Kieran just now. Well, in respect, he had one chance and it was there and then. And I think he took it a bit prematurely, to be honest. But what was that?
And like I said, he did a Daniel Kabir and just torpedoed it down to the first corner. Nullified from
Got a
sector
yellow flag
2.
sector 2. Oh, and that would be Caesar. Again.
Oh my goodness me. We're on the penultimate lap. Is Kieran going to come into the pits? No, he's not. Kieran's not coming into the pits.
I wouldn't either. I would not either.
Well, look at it this way. He's got a 40-second gap got a 40
That's a
second gap.
penultimate
He is
lap.
not going to give that up without a fight.
And Caesar's got also a 20-second advantage on Matt Dixon in Renault, so I suspect he will also skip the pits, just going to the end of the race with a broken wing.
He's actually got a 30-second gap, but it is starting to tumble.
Yo, it's tumbling quick.
Gregor back in the pits. Gregor back in the pits. But here we are.
Doesn't
Stephen
make any
Harrison.
difference to his racing position.
No. Stone dead last, but he's going to get, unless Gareth or Devon can improve on their lap time, they steal that bonus point away from Gregor. But I'm with Stephen right now. It's a win he didn't really expect to get, but nevertheless,
But got it despite.
He got it. It's a win he didn't expect. He was hoping he was going to have he would have no doubt been hoping he was going to have a great battle with Callum for that race win, but the technical gremlins said otherwise.
I just want to point out that Willem Brits also pitted for softs, and I suspect he will be going for a fast lap here as well. Looking at his telemetry now, he's on overtake mode, approaching the straight finish.
Nevertheless, here comes Stephen Harrison. He's coming through now. He's finished in the top 2 in the first 3 races of the season. He's going to make it 4. And it's his second win of the season, and he will take a comfortable lead in the championship. Stephen Harrison crosses the line to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
And second to that supposedly would be Waddington, just to keep it together in the last final corners.
Anthony Waddington, Caesar's just crossed the line in 8th. Being a lap down. And Gregor's crossed the line now. Will Gareth or Devon improve on their lap time, potentially taking the fastest lap away from... Wait, hang on, what's going on?
What's on Waddington? What's happening with him?
Oh, right.
What respect,
Anthony
respect,
Waddington.
right there and then. Respect. But he got a 20-second penalty. Callum got a 20-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flags. The AI ignored the yellow flags for the slow Renault contract. But again, let's not miss this. Waddington did that to give the position back.
That's not going to change. That's not going to change his position. Callum has second place. Anthony Waddington slowed down to let Callum take second place.
That's respect, ladies and gentlemen. If you saw that just happen now, that's respect.
Social media applauding Waddington for that. Absolutely fantastic.
And we set this on the approach for Waddington to pass the AI of Callum. That would be a hollow victory, a sweet bitter as you called it, Kenzie. I now here and then say live, I've got the world of respect for Anthony Waddington. What a guy, what a driver, and that's someone that I would love to race against. Hats off to them, and Callum, appreciation will be beyond words.
Like I say, the social media is just blowing up with respect for Waddington. You know what? Just for that alone.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, just for that, I say it's tough to pick driver of the day, but I'd give it to Waddington for that.
Yeah. no, for sure. I'm with you on that. I don't have access to the social media page of Talk of the Devil, but I can only imagine the feed coming in now after that showmanship and sportsmanship alike for Waddington, pulling that move for Callum. And I'm saying it again. He's got the world of respect for me from the seat I am as a commentator.
Yeah.
Well done.
I mean, in all seriousness, Willem, who would you pick for your driver of the day?
As I'm sitting here right now, it would be Waddington in my point of view. He had a stellar qualifying session 1, 2 and 3, and what a move by him to give that position back, knowing that Callum actually had technical difficulties and was a good amount of time ahead of him. So for that reasons, I would go for Waddington giving back that position as driver of the day, without a doubt. But crash of the day, there's a million of them.
I mean, it's gonna take something very special to top that as far as highlights are concerned. But nevertheless, it is time for the post-race interviews, and Callum has requested that I do him first, and I think quite rightly so. Massive commiserations after the technical issues there after your final pit stop, but still, second place, great way to make up for what happened in China last week.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, I just want to say thank you to Anthony. It takes a real fucking man to do that, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. That's what, you know, racing's all about, and we're trying to make Talk of the Devil a respectful league, one that's competitive all the way through. And Anthony showed great pace all through the race, and he deserved to come second, come third, wherever he finished. He deserved a really good result. So for him to give that place at the end, fucking kudos. Well played, mate. Thank you very much.
No worries, man.
Yeah. But commiserations again. Fantastic second place. A great way to make up for what happened in China 7 days ago.
Yeah, I mean, China was a bit of a pain, really. I mean, I didn't get a lot of time to practice around there, which is obviously disappointing. But yeah, it's a good way to sort of bounce back. You know, it's great points for Mercedes, which is the most important thing at the moment. With both Ferrari drivers not finishing, so that's obviously a massive bonus for us in the constructors. But I was looking forward to the battle with Steve at the end. I think that I would have had the pace on those softs to catch up with him, but I think given my position and Steve's position, I would have gave him the win at the end of it anyway. But like I said, the main thing really is that Mercedes have managed to pick up so many points today compared to Ferrari's 0.
Yeah, and what that does mean in the championship is that Mercedes are now at the top of the Constructors' Championship by quite some margin now.
Where we belong.
And I wouldn't expect anything less. But Callum, again, commiserations with the technical issues, but fantastic on that second place.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Honestly, mate. I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Even I wanted to see battle.
Yeah.
I appreciate
it.
It
Nice to see you for 7 laps.
Yeah.
That start is phenomenal, mate. To keep up with us, I mean, some racing that.
Yeah. Stephen, not the way you would have wanted to get that race win, but it's your second win of the season. You're now top of the championship. Great performance all round today.
Yeah, good to be at the top again. Yeah. Shame Gary wasn't here, but you know.
And I was saying to Callum while I was interviewing him, massive commiserations to him after the technical issues towards the tail end of the race.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was looking forward to the little battle. To be honest, I was talking to him throughout. I did tell him just to show. I showed him my pace, 3 laps before the end, setting the fastest lap again, just to show him that I had the pace to fend off. It would have been very close. I think.
Yeah, it's a battle we really would have wanted to see, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose.
Yeah, very true. I think everybody would have liked it because we have raised a few bits and bobs, and we are pretty clean and good races. So it would have been entertaining. It is a shame, but it's a win for me. Solid performance.
Yeah, regardless. Again, great job on the win today, and we'll see you again in Spain next week, hopefully.
Yes, you will.
Excellent. And last but by no means least, driver of the day, just for that act of sportsmanship on the last lap, Anthony Waddington. A great qualifying performance, and on top of that, third place after that act of sportsmanship. I take my hat off to you.
Thank you very much.
But all that aside, how do you feel the weekend went for you all round?
Alright, I don't know what I got a 5-second stop-go penalty for though. I'm not sure what happened.
But regardless, a great qualifying performance, and you ended up getting a podium at the end of the day.
I've been practicing a lot this week. I've been running with Lawless Cookie, all European lot, and people from the States. I've been joining their parties at 5 in the morning.
Well, that's what you call dedication, and it certainly paid off.
It did. Track time's important. That's only why a few of us finished, I'm guessing.
And with that podium finish today, do you think you'll be able to carry that forward into Spain next week?
I don't know, I'm going to take it one step at a time.
Probably one of the best approaches we could ask for.
Possibly. I was driving for Alpha last week, weren't I? So I keep getting put in different cars and keep performing. It'll come to me eventually.
Indeed, we'll wait and see what happens. Thanks very much for your time, and again, I take my hat off to you for the sportsmanship at the end, and well done on your third place.
Thank you very much.
So there we go, Will. That's the end of the race. I mean, how do you top something like that?
Kenzie, since the start of the race, just after the qualifying, we had really a great qualifying session. We had a good mixture of the slower cars challenging the faster cars and the faster drivers, coming second to some of the slower drivers. It was a good mixed bag in the qualifying session, and after that, on the race starts, I started becoming speechless. I was gobsmacked quite 70% throughout the race with whatever happened, with all the accidents and incidents and mistakes by the drivers, and the good attacking and good defending. But what stood out for me today is the most important, and if there's any viewers that's going to be listening to what I'm saying now, this is what stood out for me. It's not who finished first, it's not who lost, it's not the biggest accident or the smallest one, but as rightfully as Callum said, that's what racing is all about, and that's what you want in a league race, and that's what Waddington did today. Anthony Waddington showed the world that watched what to do in league racing, and I cannot exclamate this more. I said earlier in the race when I was alongside you in the commentating that I'm helping one or two guys in other leagues that I'm participating in, and coming from where I came from and where I am now, driving without assists and you name it, I'm driving it as the guys would do it. It's something that I learned and that I give back to guys, and the two things is if you're consistent, be consistently slow if you're slow. If you're fast, be consistently fast. That's the first thing. The second thing is have respect on track. If you don't have respect on track, you're not going to finish your race. I can promise you that. And that's something that Warrington showed today again. So for me, that stood out today was the last lap on the finish straight, what Anthony Warrington showed the world. That's league racing, ladies and gentlemen, in my point of view. That's something that I would love when I'm racing with someone, and that Anthony Warrington, if you listen to this, I am challenging you. I want to race with you. I don't care if I beat you, if you beat me. You are a legend for what you did tonight. Hats off to you. And to all the other drivers, congratulations on all your finishing positions. And sorry for the guys that DNF'd. But yes, that's my long answer to your question, Kenzie. That was just amazing. Baku brought it again. It was awesome.
Well, there you go, folks. The challenge has been laid down. It's just going to be a matter of time to find out whether Warrington accepts the challenge or not.
It's a friendly one.
Yeah. Like I said at the top of the broadcast, I'm not going to be here for the Extreme 1 League tomorrow night because I've got an athletics competition, but rest assured, I will be tuning in to watch the race as it happens. But Willem, thanks very much for coming on board with commentary this evening, and here's to many more.
Yes, thank you, Kenzie, for the invitation, and talk of the Devil League again to all the admins that invited me on the social media and all of that to come and commentate tonight again. Thank you very much. It was a real honor to be part of such a great league, and again, respect to all of them. And thank you very much, Kenzie. Looking forward to many more, as you say.
Indeed. I'll say we'll work out who's going to be doing the commentary for the Extreme 1 League tomorrow. But I'll be back, same time, same place, for the Spanish Grand Prix next week. Until then, it's good night, and thanks for watching.
Good night.